Lonnie is one of those people that was born in Harlem in that gang life. He's a tall albino African-American with a disfigured nose, filed, pointed teeth. He was a loner, a miscreant. Yeah, for those wondering, his skin was always white. Robertson, somebody he trusted, wrote an article about his extortion activities. He felt betrayed. He coerced him into killing the article. You know, he's in that street life, so he was working under this guy known as Hammerhead, somebody else that's in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery. This is where everything went south. It's talked about how Osborn had a chemical preservative called Diox-3. His boss Hammerhead thought this would be useful. Of course, he was in there stealing the Diox-3. Robert was trying to do a citizen's arrest. Things went sideways. He accidentally shot him into this place with this Diox-3. It was an accident. He got trapped. Of course, this is a situation where he was supposed to die. But they went in there and they saw a hole in the vault. That's when Tombstone was forever changed, being powered up more than ever. You got pages like this that kind of go back in time to give you some backstory when it comes to these two characters, when it comes to Lonnie and Robert and stuff. They kind of had like a rocky relationship, threatening Robert, Tombstone being arrested. Then we fast forward to current time, and it appears he doesn't want to be under Hammerhead no more, but be his own man, saying Hammerhead isn't the boss around here anymore. This is Tombstone territory, and all else is history. I mean, when you can do this to Spider-Man, why would you need to be under Hammerhead? You know, you've probably seen Tombstone annoy Spider-Man in the animated series from the 90s. It's the same in comics. I mean, when it comes to his raw muscle, he's strong enough to snap necks with one hand. He can rip amulets out of bodies, can break your back with a bear hug. It's the same crap with his powerful jaws. He can bite through armor. We've seen him interact or fight super soldier tiers on more than one occasion. One of the best fighters in Marvel, Taskmaster, for example, we see his vice grip get his hands on Taskmaster. Yeah, Taskmaster can copy fighting styles, but he can't necessarily copy strength. So if somebody's outrageously stronger than him, he has to figure out another way other than overpowering him with muscle. If you're not convinced of that, just remember how strong Daredevil is. Daredevil is also a super soldier tier, who he himself is strong enough to flip cars and stuff. So yeah, Daredevil has insane muscle, but that doesn't stop Tombstone from ragdolling him. And there's clear implications that when it comes to raw muscle, he's actually stronger physically than characters like Daredevil, who's a super soldier tier solidly, because when it comes to them clashing muscle, it looks like Daredevil can't just get out of his vice grip. Daredevil pretty much had to talk himself out of this situation. Let's just say there's evidence that suggests that he surpasses super soldier tier based on who is one of his main foes is. Similar to the video game, Tombstone and Spider-Man are always fighting in the comics, movies, whatever. Similarly to what he did to Daredevil, we see him do to Spider-Man, where Spider-Man has major issues getting out of his vice grip, showing Tombstone's raw muscle. This is a consistent thing when it comes to comparing Tombstone and Spider-Man's muscle. Tombstone is even cocky about his strength, telling Spider-Man you can't break his grip, despite Spider-Man being able to lift a lot of weight. Being anywhere in Spider-Man's ballpark is insane, considering that Spider-Man is the same guy that can lift 10-ton buses, lift and toss around 60-ton tanks. Wouldn't it be fair to say if Tombstone's in the same neighborhood of strength with Spider-Man, Spider-Man can't break his grip? Wouldn't you assume that, yeah, Tombstone himself could also lift 60+ tons as well? Similar to Spider-Man? Here comes these handbooks with that BS. Again, talking about he's only a 6-tonner when he's matching Spider-Man, somebody that can lift 60+ tons or even over 10 tons. Yeah, take this with a grain of salt. He can do more than this. Like, he's one of those characters that doesn't get as many showings or flashy feats when it comes to him lifting up like a tank himself and stuff. But when you see the stuff he lifts, there's nothing really contradicting it. You see him lift stuff most of the time and it's not really that heavy to him. I mean, honestly, if you really want to deep dive into Spider-Man's true strength, Spider-Man has supported the weight of a building. Obviously, he didn't support the weight of all of it, but it doesn't matter. Even if he supported the weight of 1% of the building, that would still be thousands of tons considering the size of this building. Even if you lowball it, try to say he didn't lift it. If you try to say supporting and lifting are two separate things, that is true. But I'm pretty sure if you could support 500,000 tons, pretty sure you could probably lift 1,000 tons. You know, there's such a vast gap between 500,000 tons and 1,000. Because technically, Spider-Man has technically supported thousands of tons, holding up a freaking building. It was ridiculously high effort, and it wasn't all of the weight. He was just supporting a section of it. But even then, this feat right here has to be in the 1,000 ton range, even if we lowball the snot of it based on him supporting the weight of the Daily Bugle. And then I want you to do some critical thinking. What does that say about Tombstone? That's a good argument to be made. If he can overpower somebody that can support thousands of tons, wouldn't that kind of mean Tombstone could support thousands of tons too when it comes to raw muscle? If he's anywhere in the league of Spider-Man in raw strength? Would that mean if you was to put Tombstone in the same situation as Spider-Man supporting the building, do you think Tombstone would be able to support that weight as well? Supporting thousands of tons, it's totally plausible if he's in a neighborhood with Spider-Man or even surpassing the Spider-Man characters, because Tombstone has faced more than one Spider-Man level being. He's faced the Scarlet Spider too, which is basically another Spider-Man level strong person. And they even admit I can't break his hold. So this is more evidence of Tombstone's raw muscle being in that Spider-Man ranges or higher. A good argument could be for higher. It's like narrative writer intent that he's supposed to be a Spider-Man tier person or just slightly higher. So after seeing all this strength that confirmed he's at least Spider-Man level, it shouldn't really be a surprise that this guy can punch really hard, considering he apparently can lift hundreds of tons or even 1,000 tons if we compare him to Spider-Man's raw muscle. Of course, his punches are hard, right? We've seen the weight of his punches punch through walls, car roofs. I'm talking about thick concrete walls we've seen him punch through. Like, look how thick this junk looks. Kicking beings through brick walls, punches down metal door, hitting Spider-Man hard enough to crack the wall behind him. We've seen him hit through the roof of an armored car. Without sugarcoating anything, you know Spider-Man has a lot of web he can use at his disposal. Remember this building lifting feat I already talked about earlier in this video? His web can kind of support the building to help it stay up. So the web can like support a lot of weight, right? It's even helpful in stabilizing whole buildings, right? See, Tombstone is just built different. Not only can he rip apart brick walls, obviously, right? But when it comes to Spider-Man trying to web him up with everything he got, he can actually rip out of Spider-Man's web, which says a lot about his raw strength. If we're being honest, Tombstone, if he wanted to, I believe if he just pulled up to a random building, he could just topple it down with his raw muscle, honestly, with his punching power. Tombstone is no stranger to one-shotting beings. I mean, just look at the weight of his punches hitting walls. Like, Daredevil even said it himself, that if he lands a clean blow, he will be picking up teeth. Daredevil doesn't want to get hit by this guy. He even says I have to use his speed and strength against him, implying that he has like a statistic advantage when it comes to muscle and stuff. The weight of his headbutt actually knocked out freaking Daredevil. Like, Daredevil is freaking dizzy. Black Cat, somebody that you should respect, he made her go night-night with a hit. This guy's out here abusing characters like Hammerhead, who's somebody that's pretty strong too. I mean, yeah, sure, he punched Spider-Man here, but when it comes to Hammerhead, yet again, we've literally seen Tombstone backhand Hammerhead. And one more time for those in the back, if you still have your doubts about him being Spider-Man level or higher, just let these panels speak for itself. Like, he's hitting Spider-Man this hard. Like laying a beat down on freaking Spider-Man. This bad has to be studied. So ask yourself this, what's scarier than somebody that can hit you with thousands of tons of pressure behind his blows? Well, how about somebody that has durability just as scary as what he can hit or worse? I mean, the guy's 6'7", 460 pounds, and look at the grid. They even agree that his durability is a higher rank than his strength. The scary thing about his strength is it's already Spider-Man range based on his grid, but then his durability is even higher. Tombstone has plenty of showings of being hit by bullets. This is the one thing that separates him from the Spider-Man tiers. Bullets actually can cut a Spider-Man tier, not Tombstone though. He himself says bullets only irritate him, they can't penetrate his skin. You see, the police tried, it doesn't work. Shooting him is a waste of time. Yeah, ordinary steel ain't gonna cut it either. Let's just say he's sword-proof too. I mean, he's so durable to the point where even some of the strongest fighters, super soldier tiers like Punisher, for example, hit him and they hurt their elbow, break their elbow trying to hit Tombstone. You guys know how hard Daredevil can hit. Daredevil tried to do a pressure point on Tombstone and he almost broke his fingers. He's too durable. He gets hit by Daredevil's baton and he just calls him stupid. There's implication that Black Cat's claws can hurt him. He just still kind of shrugs it off still. So you're probably thinking, okay, we can't beat him with blunt attacks. He's too durable. Let's beat him with hacky stuff. Let's melt him. Let's poison him or something, right? Let's shock him to death, right? Let's just say setting him on fire isn't a guaranteed win either. I would say he's more resistant than normal humans when it comes to electricity, it and stuff, but it does seem to cause him some discomfort though when he gets shocked. But yeah, he does bounce back faster than somebody should. All that stuff aside, like even if you hit him with a rocket, that isn't going to necessarily cut it either. You can't even just shoot him with tear gas and call it a day. He can recover way faster than you would expect. Car accident? No problem. We've seen him get hit by Luke Cage and go flying. His durability even can withstand hits from freaking rhinos. On the subject of being hit by Spider-Man level beings, like you already know he's as strong as them or slightly stronger, right? It's scary to think about the fact that as strong as he is, his durability could be even scarier than his actual muscle or punching power. Because Spider-Man freaking hits Tombstone and it hurts Spider-Man's fist. As strong as Spider-Man is, somebody that can hit with over hundreds of tons of force or even 1,000 tons of force, his hand get hurt punching Tombstone. Something to think about. It's the same when other Spider-Man tiers like Ben Reilly hit him. He just kind of eats all of these hits. Matter of fact, you might as well stop trying to punch him, Spider-Man, because you're actually causing more damage to yourself than Tombstone. Like, he's literally smiling off your punches, laughing at Spider-Man trying to hurt him. Like, Spider-Man's literally hurting his hands hitting him. I do want to make it clear that Spider-Man can actually punch and get a victory on Tombstone, though. I want to make that clear, though. So I'm not saying he's out of his league. I'm saying they're in the same ballpark. Lonnie's durability is just scary. Like, if Spider-Man hits him with a pole, he can, kind of do more damage as long as it's not bare fist hits for the most part, because it'd be hurting his fist, so he'll use an object to hit him instead. But Spider-Man's swings have enough weight, though, to still damage him, though. Like, in this particular situation, he put a whole bunch of web around his fist to punch Tombstone and damage him that way. So Spider-Man has the weight to be able to hurt Tombstone. It's just that sometimes it'd be hurting Spider-Man's knuckles. Holy crap. This guy is scary. And he has knowledge on how to use firearms or weapons. That's why on certain occasions you see him driving while using pistols. We've seen him use rocket launchers. I mean, he's technically a gangster. I mean, of course he would use guns, right? You would be surprised because it doesn't look like it, but he has combat speed on top of all this strength and durability. I mean, this should be obvious based on the people you've seen him fight in this video. You've seen him go against Daredevil and Spider-Man. You know he has to be fast. They're not blitzing him, right? But when Daredevil says you have good reflexes, you have insane combat speed. Daredevil even said his speed surprised him, and he's narrating, how can someone whose skin is like hardened concrete move so quickly? So yeah, Tombstone's quick. Just a friendly reminder, the same guy that's giving Tombstone this kind of compliments when it comes to speed is the same guy that can react to actual electricity, lightning speed type stuff from Electro. And this is the same guy that can react to stuff in 1/1,000,000th of a second, a microsecond, y'all. So just for the fact he's tagging Daredevil's surprised at his combat speed, he has to be within that 1/1,000,000th of a second fighting speed, reflex type range, similar to Daredevil, since Daredevil's giving him props. We literally seen Daredevil react to lightning strikes, and Daredevil's surprised at his speed. This would imply that Tombstone is quicker than lightning bolts when it comes to his fist moving at you at a certain speed. I mean, in Tombstone's opinion, he believes he's faster than Daredevil. I mean, after seeing these occasions with Daredevil, I can't really blame him for saying that. Sure, he could be being cocky, but yo, it's kind of proven when Daredevil gives him props too. Tackling Daredevil mid-combo. I mean, there's even thugs that are surprised at how fast he is. You guys know Spider-Man is ridiculously fast. He's even had to compete against beings that have the speed of light on their side. Lasers, him reacting to laser beams and stuff. So knowing how quick Spider-Man is, knowing how fast he is with his reflexes, with his spider sense, knowing all of that, it would take a lot to get approval from Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man even talks about Tombstone moving so fast. Notice that Spider-Man's spider sense was going off. That still didn't stop him from hitting Spider-Man. So that's how you know he punches fast. I don't think you guys understand. Spider sense is basically like precognition. You get like a little glimpse into the future to see what's about to hit you before it happens. But Tombstone is still hitting characters that have a spider sense. That's impressive while it's going off. And in this particular situation, it was even stated, this spider character said, without my spider sense, he would have tagged me. Tombstone's quick. So yeah, Tombstone can compete in speed with characters that can react to light speed stuff. So saying he's quicker than lightning is an oversimplification. His combat speed is way faster than this. Did you have any idea Tombstone was this strong? He's a symbiote Spider-Man tier type being. He's ridiculously strong. Make sure y'all post your comments. Tell me, what did you learn new? Did you know Tombstone was this strong? What is the most scary about him? And thank you all for the donations. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.